Welcome back to the vlog, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Gotti. We are some days behind the event now, but like you can see, I'm enjoying myself a little bit here in the sunshine, just on the sea. And like you saw on the vlog before, the tournament was running so-so, but the cash camp streets were really hot. So I played a lot of 2-5, and luckily this time I could make live footage. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm really happy to show and share the hands with you. So let's go! This is a brand new 2-5 table. We are early in the session. I usually buy in between 700 to 1000 in a 2-5 game, depending on the stacks on the table. But I saw on the players that they're more like 1-2 to 2 players and not really confident with bigger stacks. The most bought in between 300 to 400 euro. So I decided to just buy in for 500 euro and still was a big stack. So a little bit more shallow, but here we go. Which brings us to the first hand here. Under the gun opens to 20 euro. I'm next to egg and +1. I look down to pocket kings. I'll raise it up to 70 euro, of course. The cutoff makes a cold call, and the under the gun player calls as well. So you go 3-way to the flop. And the flop comes 5-3-5 rainbow. Under the gun player checks over to me, and this board shouldn't connect too hard with anyone, so I don't see anyone folding a pocket pair, overcards, backdoor draws to any single bet. I bet here half pot size bet 100 euro. The cutoff makes the call and the undergun player makes the fold. So we go heads up to the turn. The turn brings a queen, which also brings a second heart on board. I glimpse over to his deck. He has about 280, 290 left in his deck. So since I put him on a smaller pocket or random overcards or random Broadway cards, I put him all in for this remaining stack, because I don't see him folding any smaller pocket to one overcard, or when he holds a random queen he definitely makes the call. And after some time of thinking, he makes the call and we go to the river, which brings an ace. I'm not too scared about it. I show my pocket kings and they are good. So very good start early in the session, and I almost double up my stack. In this next hand, I look down to two beautiful red-headed queens. I'm under the gun. I open for 20 euro. It folds to the hijack, which puts in a 3-bet to 65 euro. Everybody folds, and I make the call. So we go heads up to the flop, which comes Jack 5-3 all rainbow. Pretty safe flop. I check over to him, and he puts in a C-bet of 60 euro. Nothing to do here, just to call to keep also all his bluffs in and to evaluate the turn. The turn pairs the board with a 5. This time it checks through, and the river comes a 7. So most likely I have the best hand. I was thinking for a second to put in a small block / value bet, but early in the game I like to strengthen my check range and also my range in general. So I check over to him, he quickly checks back, and my queens are good. On to the next one. In this hand here, I open up from under the gun again for 20 euro. It folds around to the big blind, which makes a call. So you can see here that the table was pretty tight, so that's why I open up my ranges from every position. So we go heads up to the flop, which comes 7-5-3 with 2 spades. Before I can think about anything, the big blind donk leads for 30 euro, which is quite big compared to the flop. And he did that before on a similar board when he had top pair with a Broadway kicker. So I'm cautious, but my hand is too strong to fold just yet. So I just make the call in position, and the turn brings the king. He sinks for a thicket and puts another donk bet of 65 euro. So this really screams like top pair, maybe even turn 2 pair, or maybe he was on a king high flush draw and turns a king. So I'm running really low here with hands I can beat, and I'd rather wait for better spots. But I'm always happy when fishes make a decision that easy. So on to the next one. This hand I didn't film because I was just taking notes from the previous hand. So here the low jack opens for 20 euro. It folds around to the small blind, which calls, and I'm in the big blind with ace-10 off. I call as well. So we go 3-way to the flop, which comes really favorable for my specific hand. Ace-10-5 with 2 diamonds. I also have the ace of diamonds in my hand. Small blind and me, we check over to the pre-raiser, but he checks behind. The turn brings a 4. Now the small blind leads out for 30 euro. It's time to build the pot, so I raise to 90 euro. Low jack folds, but small blind makes the call. So we go heads up to the river, which brings a king. He checks over to me, and here unfortunately I do make a mistake, and I bet roughly around half pot size bet 110 euro, and he almost quickly folds. So the bet size is definitely wrong. I should go either small with 50-60 euro to get a crying call from a smaller ace, non-believing 10, smaller pockets between 8s and 6s, or maybe to also induce a bluff when he thinks he can still steal the pot. Or I go really big around pot size bet to polarize my range, because I can still have all the missed diamond draws, missed straight draws like 6-3, 7-6, 8-6, 9-8, all these kind of hands. So nevertheless, I won the pot and happy about that. In this hand I'm in a small blind with pocket 9s. I just call a raise from a cutoff and a call from a button for 15 euro. The big blind folds, and actually in this situation should be a 3-bet, especially with all of that money out there, but the cutoff was the best player on the table and the button was recreational, more like calling station, so I don't mind here to just set mine. So we go 3-way to the flop, which comes 6-5-3 rainbow. The action checks through on the flop, which brings a 10 of hearts on the turn, which brings also a second heart on the board. I check over. Now the cutoff leads for 40 euro. The big blind folds, and my hand is way too strong to just fold now. So I make the call, and we go heads up to the river, which brings a 4, which brings also a 4-liner on board. I check over, and now he puts out a bet of 85 euro after some sort of thinking. Like I mentioned before, he's the best player on the table, so he's definitely capable of finding enough bluffs in these situations, like missed draws, blocker hands, and I don't see so many 7s or deuce holdings for straight in his hand, except of 7-6, 8-7, 9-7 suited or ace-deuce suited. So I think I only lose against random 10x holdings, anything between 10-9 till ace-10. So since my hand is too strong here to fold, I make the call and he shows me queen-jack of hearts. So I scoop another 300 euro pot. On to the next one. The action slowed down quite a bit for me, so here early position I open up 8-6 suited. The hijack makes a call and the big blind calls as well. So you go 3-way to the flop, which I actually cannot remember, but I think it was a 10 high board, no draw, no suit for me. He checks through on the flop, turn brings an ace, big blind checks, and I give it one attempt to steal the pot. So I go polarize and bet 55 euro, and both opponents instantly fold. So I scoop another small one. On to the last one. In this last hand here, the hijack limps in. I'm on the button with ace-king suited. I isolate him for 30 euros. I go bigger here with my premiums because they call anyway. The blinds fold and he makes the call. Flop comes monotone, all hearts with some Broadway cards. He checks over to me. I put in a small c-bet and he makes a fold. So easy game here. I scoop another small baby pot. And this was the rest of the evening. So not much action for me, but at least I book a solid win. So happy about that. So even though the night was short and not that much action for me in general, it was still a good solid night and overall a really solid series, like you can see on the stats over here somewhere. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm looking forward for the next event in Casino Malta, because this venue is really nice. I like the stuff, I like the chips and everything. The action is pretty good, a lot of 2-5 action. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button, and see you soon.